All right, so here's a little bit of help with the part 2 Ohm's law graph. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and put in your values. Okay, just remember that the ammeter only reads to the 10th. Okay, so as this resistance number gets bigger, these numbers might start duplicating. Okay, so for example, in my example, 50 and 60 both read 0.2, right? Even though they're both not exactly 0.2. Okay, so you just have to kind of be careful, you know, when you do that. Okay, all right, so as you can see, I've put them in a table. Okay, and I can't really see it, but if I kind of scroll down here, I can see them. Okay, and oftentimes it's a little hard to see the shape, so you really want to make sure that you hit this thing over here, this zoom fit, okay, because then look, you're going to be able to see the shape a lot better. Okay, all right, so the first thing you might think is this looks a little different than what we have done. So if you try to put your regular line on it, right, like it's not even close, like it doesn't even hit any of the points at all, right? I mean, the trend is negative, but still this is not a good fit at all. Okay, so what that means is that this is not a linear relationship. Okay, it's something different, and it's something new that we haven't seen before. Okay, so what this is this is called an inverse relationship, right? Because as the resistance, let's label these, so X was resistance this time in ohms. Okay, and then again, the Y was current in amps. Okay, so you want to put your labels on. Okay, when the resistance gets bigger, the current actually gets smaller, right? Which makes sense because the more resistance, the harder it is to get through the circuit. Of course, the current is going to be less, right? Less chargers are going to be able to get by because it's a harder place to travel. Okay, all right, so when we look at this equation, we have a new one. Okay, so Y1 squiggle. We're going to use K for a constant. It's kind of like the slope, except for it's not a slope, okay? Divided by X1, okay? That's what makes the inverse shape when it's 1 over X, okay? So as you can see, look how beautiful that fits now, okay? And mine fits perfectly, mainly because I took out that 50.2, right? Because that was not really the right point. Okay, so I can see here that I have this really nice relationship, and then I have this K value of 12. Okay, and the K value is constant. All right, so just like we did in part 1, you want to think about what was the thing in your graph that was held constant. And this number probably is or is related to that. Okay, and I don't want to say any more until we talk, but basically so you can kind of see how the graph shape looks. Okay, then you can try to write your verbal model and your math model now using this y1 equals k over x1 instead of the line. Okay, and you're filling your y and x variable just like we did before. Okay, all right, and then that is how you make the part 2 Ohm's law graph.